Vajiraman Ravi has been still there even during my mains preparation, during both my attempts 2023-24. I started my preparation in 2018 here as a foundation batch student, and finally I'm again back here 6 years later. The life has come full circle finally. I post-graduated actually in year 2018. After that I came to Vajiraman Ravi, as the name has always been there, where I was completely clueless कि क्या करना है क्या नहीं. And that year I think ये join किया test series मैंने, and we had those regular feedback sessions. GS, we had GS. I was enrolled for the GS thing. I had that regular feedback session. After every copy that was checked, we had those mentoring sessions going on. So उससे पता चलता था what is wrong, where I should add on, what is the changes I need to make, etc. So it went like that, and I really scored good in GS. Last year also it was 435 marks in GS 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello aspirants, this is Sai Shivani. I have secured All India 11th rank in UPSC CSE 2024. In this video, I will be discussing about my optional strategy, and I will be sharing few insights which might be even handier for you to just prepare for optional in a more nuanced manner. So beginning with the selection of optional, in my case it was anthropology. तो फिर मैंने सोचा कि there is a criteria to just select an optional. तो फिर इफ़ यू आर अ फ्रेश कैंडिडेट, क्या क्राइटेरिया होनी चाहिए जो ऑप्शनल के सिलेक्शन में ठीक है. तो फिर फर्स्ट क्राइटेरिया ये होता है कि वो ऑप्शनल आपके लिए इंटरेस्टिंग होनी चाहिए. तो फिर डू नॉट गेट टू द ट्रेंड्स डायरेक्टली. फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्राइटेरिया वुड बी वेदर दैट ऑप्शनल ब्रिंग्स यू सर्टेन इंटरेस्ट, बिकॉज यू सी व्हेन वी स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द ऑप्शनल, इट इज़ अ लॉन्ग जर्नी. लाइक यू विल गो ऑन राइटिंग मेंस, हमें पता नहीं चलता कि कौन सी अटेम्प्ट में सिलेक्शन हो जाएगा. तो फिर हम बार बार पढ़ते हैं, एंड इस बात के ध्यान होनी चाहिए कि वो ऑप्शनल बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग होनी चाहिए आप. तो फिर सेकंड क्राइटेरिया ये होता है कि रिसोर्स की अवेलेबिलिटी कुछ है क्या मार्केट में, चाहे वो स्टैंडर्ड बुक लिस्ट का हो, चाहे वो टॉपर्स नोट्स या टॉपर कॉपीज़ टेस्ट सीरीज़ का भी हो. तो रिसोर्स अवेलेबिलिटी शुड ऑल्सो बी द क्राइटेरिया. एंड द थर्ड वन एज वी स्पीक इज़ द ट्रेंड्स, कि मार्किंग कैसे चल रहा है ये ऑप्शनल में. एंड तो फिर ईयर ऑन ईयर आर वी गेटिंग इनफ नंबर ऑफ टॉपर्स आउट ऑफ इट, एंड जो डिफ़िकल्टी लेवल है PYQs या फिर सिलेबस टॉपिक्स के अनुसार पे, ये चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखते हुए आप अपने ऑप्शनल को सिलेक्ट करनी चाहिए. तो फिर आफ्टर एनालाइजिंग दीज ऑल थिंग्स, I just decided कि I'll go with the anthropology optional. And to your information, I just started my optional preparation back in the pandemic period. So I was probably in the third year of my engineering back then. तो फिर I have just got a lot of leisure time. I was back at home during lockdown, and मैंने सोचा कि कुछ interesting करें life में. तो फिर I have decided that let's try optional anthropology. And initially I have referred to toppers strategy blogs, toppers videos, and I just started reading chapter by chapter, and in that manner I have completed one full reading of optional within the pandemic period. So I have not enrolled into any of the formal classes for optional. This is the brief about how an optional should be selected and how you should be preparing. And secondly, what is the book list for anthropology optional? For example, in the beginning days when I had no idea about this, I just referred to 2017 का All India Rank 1 topper Anudeep Durshetty sir's blog. So in his blog he has given the basic book list, and I just referred to the Braintree volumes for different topics in the optional. And secondly, I have referred to the Nadim Hasnain sir books, so both for Indian anthropology and for tribal anthropology. And then when it comes to archaeology ka part, I have referred to D.K. Bhattacharya sir, his book. So I think these are the standard books available in the market. But I'll tell you that no matter how many of these books you read, you'll not get the essence of this optional unless you read the Ember and Ember book. This was a realization for me back when I failed the prelims in the first attempt, that is in 2023. तो फिर जब I couldn't qualify the prelims in that attempt, I've thought that why not enrich my optional notes, optional understanding during this time. So that is precisely when I started reading the Ember and Ember book. But I'll just caution you here, because we require a lot of book list to cover various topics in the optional. But ऐसा भी नहीं है कि हम cover to cover करें जो books है. तो यू हैव टू ऑलवेज कीप इन माइंड कि सिलेबस में क्या कौन सी टॉपिक्स है और ये वाले स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स में कौन सी टॉपिक्स के लिए एक्सप्लेनेशन है। तो फिर ऐसे मैप करके जो भी टॉपिक्स कवर हुए हैं सिर्फ वही कवर करना वो बुक्स से। So it will save you a lot of time and it will also take you in a proper direction कि syllabus क्या है और क्या क्या topic तुम पढ़ रहे हो। For EMBA, specially I have covered 4 to 5 chapters, especially with respect to culture part, with respect to marriage, kinship, and topics like religion, economic, political anthropology, language. And I'll just tell you the importance of this book here, because as you see, the optionals are getting tougher each day, especially the humanities optional. And if we go through the EMBA book, we'll get the basic essence of this subject, not to just write any other exam, but just to understand how this subject works, what kind of inputs that we get through this discipline. These are certain essential inputs that you have to keep in mind. So I hence recommend aspirants, if you have a lot of time, I mean if you are a fresh aspirant and you are aiming for years like 26 and 27, तो फिर आपने ऑप्शनल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी सेलेक्ट किया हुआ है तो फिर डेफिनेटली गो फॉर EMBA बुक. इट विल जस्ट डीपन योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग अबाउट दिस सब्जेक्ट एंड यू विल फेयर बेटर इन द टिपिकल क्वेश्चंस ऑल्सो. तो हम सिलेबस की ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं. इफ़ वी टेक एंथ्रोपोलॉजी का सिलेबस जो पेपर 1 एंड पेपर 2 है ब्रॉडली, एंड इफ़ वी कंसिडर द पेपर 1 पार्ट, we have the socio-cultural anthropology and the basics of what this discipline is about, like what are the different branches of anthropology, and also the archaeology and fossils part, and you see the genetics part wherein the chapters like 9.1 se lekar 10 tak we have all about human growth, genetics, role of genetics, all of this, and also the applied anthropology in the last chapter. And if we talk about the second paper, it is broadly the Indian anthropology and the tribal anthropology. So in this manner, it is not just about the topics, but you have to differentiate different subparts in the optionals. Because I'll tell you, your paper, the question paper of UPSC optional, it will be based on these particular broad concepts. So if you have a good hold on certain topics, you can just try on attempting them, because unlike in GS wala papers, optional papers mein we have the luxury to select the questions. We can choose the questions, right? So if you are strong in some particular area and you are seeing the questions in that paper, then why not write something that you are actually good at? So this is the strategy. You have to just broadly analyze कि कौन सी सब पार्ट्स है और कौन सी सब पार्ट्स में आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग बहुत अच्छी है और कौन सी सब पार्ट्स में आपको कुछ कन्फ्यूजन या फिर कुछ कमी है. तो दिस एनालिसिस विल हेल्प यू अप्रोच द पेपर इन अ स्ट्रेटेजिक मैनर. ठीक है. और जब PYQs की बात आती है, आई विल टेल यू दैट PYQs आर वेरी मच इम्पॉर्टेंट इन ऑप्शनल, एंड व्हेन स्पेसिफिकली वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस ह्यूमैनिटीज़ वाले ऑप्शनल्स. एंड एक तरीका ये होता है कि आप अपने नोट्स PYQ के हिसाब से बन सकते हैं या फिर आप टॉपिक के हिसाब से कुछ नोट्स बना सकते हैं. तो फिर दीज आर द 2 अप्रोचेस थ्रू विच यू कैन मेक योर नोट्स. बट PYQs इसलिए ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं कि you will know which are the concepts that you can just skip on. You can just have a sheet of paper writing the basic details and that's it for that chapter, because there is no return on investment on that chapter. So this, what to do and what not to do, will only be understandable when you are referring through the PYQs and solve them, like brainstorm the PYQs. And when we talk about the answer writing part especially, तो फिर you have to start with brainstorming. And जो भी optionals है they are actually vast in syllabus terms, and revision का एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा होता है. And when you are starting to write the answers, just make sure that you are writing it in a freestyle. GS की तरह जो strict pointers, dimensions की तरह actually it's not needed, but you can approach it in the freestyle, be it in the pointer form or in the paragraph format. But keep in mind that you are hitting the demand of the question. Like, are you able to give introductions and conclusions very contemporarily, like giving it the technical nature that the paper deserves? Like, are you quoting the thinkers, the theories wali concept hai na, 6th chapter in the paper 1, anthropological theories. It is not just understanding the theories, but linking those thinkers and theories time and again in both the papers. So this will reward you more marks. and are you actually dividing the question into multiple subparts, and are you giving the good presentation like using the flow charts or certain diagrams. अगर हम आर्कियोलॉजी के बात करते हैं तो फॉसिल्स का डायग्राम्स कुछ आप टूल्स एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एंड ऑल्सो द साइट्स इन इंडिया एंड इन द वर्ल्ड, आर यू एबल टू एक्चुअली draw a diagram and label those sites? So these are the certain criteria you have to take care while you are actually approaching the answer writing part. And the next part that I want to tell is that optional is decodable when you have prefixed structures in your mind. Actually, there are as I said, there are lot many subparts in the optional paper of anthropology. So if we take the archaeology wali part, what is the basic structure that you can approach? For example, you will give the contemporary introduction, like this particular species of Homo genus actually survived from this timeline to this timeline. So that can be your introduction, and then you will write the climatic pattern of that particular man, like the times of that particular man. Glaciation was going on, yeah, pluviation was going on, whatever it is. Then you will write the phylogeny. So you will draw a diagram and you can just label out where this man actually belongs. So you can give the phylogeny, and then you can just write the tools and technology part. कौन सी techniques use किए हुए थे like in the development of these tools, and what is the relevance of these tools. अगर हम ये बात करते हैं कि वो जो एक्स है, स्पीयर्स है, बोरर्स है, ब्यूरिन्स है, कौन सी काम के लिए ये वाले टूल्स उपयोग में है, तो ये डिटेलिंग जस्ट आप एक लाइन में भी लिख सकते हो. एंड जब हम अगले के स्ट्रक्चर में के बारे में बात करते हैं तो विल डिटेल द सोशियो कल्चरल लाइफ ऑफ दैट मैन. सो वाज ही लिविंग इन द केव्स, और कौन सी ब्यूरियल प्रैक्टिस में थे, और ये वुमेन एंड मेन का सोशल डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर कैसे थे. ये सारे कुछ निटिग्रिटीज़ है. आप एक स्ट्रक्चर के फॉर्म में आप डायमेंशंस लिखो, एंड देन यू जस्ट ब्रेनस्टॉर्म की कौन से पॉइंट्स रिलेवेंट है ये वाले क्वेश्चन में. तो फिर आर्कियोलॉजी का एंड फॉसिल वाली पार्ट का ये कुछ स्ट्रक्चर है. तो फिर अगर आप पेपर टू ट्राइबल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी का पार्ट आप देखते हो तो द स्ट्रक्चर विल बी लाइक यू विल जस्ट डिटेल दैट these particular PVTGs or the tribal groups, these are vulnerable and that they are actually economically, socially backward. And then when you are writing about the constitutional safeguards, again divide it as what are the political empowerment safeguards, what are the economical, and what are the other secular safeguards that constitution has given. So things like that, you can just go on mentioning all of these things in a structural manner so that your answer looks more holistic. And the most crucial part that optional के बारे में ये important है कि आप notes कैसे बना रहे हो. तो फिर in my case I just have finished one reading of optional during the pandemic period, but then after the pandemic I resumed my coursework, that the college work. So I went ahead with the 4th year of engineering, the projects and other semesters work, so I didn't find time to invest in the preparation. It was only after my graduation that I resumed my preparation. So meanwhile I just lost some kind of connectivity or connection with the subject, and then I realized that I had to read it again and make notes in a format that is actually meeting the demands of UPSC exam. Earlier I did make notes, but it was not very relevant to the demands. So फिर I just referred to topper Apala Mishra ma'am's copy, like her answer copies and her topper notes, especially about the optional. And then from her optional notes I have made my own notes. So I have taken reference and then made some specific changes with respect to the current happenings or with respect to the structuring part. So I just took her notes as reference and built upon it. This not only has given me good understanding about the structuring and answer writing, but also saved a lot of time, especially when I was in that mains preparation phase. Just because I had spent lot of time in understanding the nuances of this subject and making detailed notes with respect to the topics that are very much important. So with these things in practice, I was just able to write and score well in the optional mains without even writing proper test series. So I'll tell you that test series can be one of the criteria, but it is not very mandatory. If you are somebody who is good at writing answers in GS wala papers and you are good at time management, meeting the demand of the question, structuring and value addition, all of this criteria, if you are meeting them comfortably, then you might not write the optional test series. But if you are somebody struggling at any of these levels, you can definitely go out and just look out for whatever is there available in the market. And it should be a completely personal choice, not just be like in a FOMO wali situation. It is not completely mandatory. So if I talk about my scenario, I did not have much of the time to write optional test series. I just signed up for GS wala test series, and since I couldn't find time for optional test series, I just did one thing. So in the 2.5 month duration, whenever I was preparing for this mains, I just used to dedicate some 15 to 30 minutes daily for optional brainstorming. So I used to take the PYQs from the chapters that I had revised that day, and then I used to brainstorm कि intro and conclusions कैसे बनाती हूँ, and like structuring वाली part, and then जो dimensions है, कौन सी dimensions की मैं लिख सकती हूँ ये question पे, and जो presentation and value addition कौन सी points मैं लिख सकती हूँ, ये सब like I was brainstorming. So this not only saved my time, and this also helped me score 280 marks in optional this year. So I request candidates to just go through PYQs, sit with yourself, brainstorm, and just understand what is the nuance of answer writing in optional. So this should be the answer writing pattern and the note making part. And if I talk about my own experience with respect to optional answer writing, as I told before, I was just brainstorming all the while. But as and when like mains is approaching, say 15 days before the actual mains, I just randomly took 2 previous year papers. Like I have selected randomly the 2020 ka papers, जो paper 1 and paper 2 है. I just wrote down them in an exam like condition at my home itself. And we get this question कि अच्छा answers तो आपने लिखी है, तो फिर evaluation कैसे करें? And for these, I didn't have any model answers for PYQs. So I just did one thing. I took my papers and then I compared them with my notes. So I had made a detailed notes on each of these PYQ themes. And then when I compared, I was really not writing some important pointers which are actually needed. They are the keywords in that particular question. So then I'll mark it then and there that you are missing the keywords. You did not quote this particular thinker. This is actually very important. Or you did not label the diagram. You did not use presentation techniques. So all of this I was just analyzing with my own notes. And then it gave me a good picture that acha, these are the shortcomings that I have, and these are the improvements that I can make. This kind of self-analysis not only helped me write good answers in the mains, but also deal with uncertain questions. And you see, there are uncertain questions each year, and the increasing complexity which will actually point out that we actually need to have more efforts, show more efforts in the optional papers. तो फिर अगर मेरे बारे में कुछ एग्जाम्पल बताओ कि 2024 ऑप्शनल पेपर में वी गॉट एन एसे, like there is a question which asked us to write an essay about a tribal leader. Then it was so shocking for us because it's not an essay paper, it's an optional paper, and जो PYQs के repeated themes है वो कुछ actually are not in a large number in that paper. तो फिर it was a shock for all of us. So then I realized that okay, if there is a bouncer question, it is for all of us, it's just not for me. So in such questions, you have to do your best. So no matter how much trickier the question gets, you just need to show up and write whatever best you know, because you have been reading this subject for a lot of time now and you have that creative mind also. So just why not go for it and write in your freestyle. So I have attempted the essay, and after writing it, I felt so good that actually we restrict ourselves with this kind of thing and this template that we have to write answers in this particular template only. Actually it is not the case. You can write it in the freestyle, and it will actually reward you when there is more genuinity in your answer. And this is the entire perspective about optional preparation, answer writing, etc. And I just want to add one last important thing with respect to optional preparation. So as we all know, we make bulky notes for optional. In my case, like I used to have 2 to 3 spiral binding notes, which is very bulky, because when mains is approaching, say for example 1 week or during the mains days, we do not have that time to actually कि revise करे ये सब bulky notes. तो फिर I just did one thing. So जब 15 days है like to the mains, I did one thing that I have taken A4 sheets, and for every other chapter I was just writing the dimensions and keywords. So in this manner, whatever are the important points that should be definitely be quoted in such topics, I was writing the list of such keywords and dimensions. And you know, like when it was almost the mains phase, like we'll get a break of 5 days in between GS papers and optional. So those 5 days, my revision, actually I was able to revise the entire optional 2 times. It is just because I had made this short notes, the keyword notes, which is very handy. And even during the optional days when we were writing paper 1 and 2, just after paper 1 was done, I was just revising the short notes of paper 2. And this helped me to just, you know, कि exam वाले mood में आ जाओ. Like I'll not be having that inertia to start the answers. Just I was revising keywords time and again, revising the list of tribes, and preparing some ethnographs of any some random tribes. And you know कि कुछ गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स है, अगर हम इस वाले ईयर पे बात करते हैं तो वी हैव PM जनमन मिशन, and there is a lot of emphasis on the tribal development part. And you see ki how much ever relevant news events that you can actually quote, not about the typical committees that we already have in our syllabus, but also the contemporary budget initiatives or what is the government currently aiming to do. These are all contemporary things, but they will add lot of value to your answers. So please make sure that आप ये वाले सारे चीज़ें हैं तो आप फिर just keep in mind all of these things and just go ahead with optional preparation all in. And lastly, I'll tell you one thing, and I share you my own experience. Firstly, I've been in love with this subject for so long. Since 2020, I've been just with this subject only. I haven't changed any optional. But you know, when I was just writing the papers, जो 2020 का papers, paper 1 and paper 2, when I was writing those papers, I just stopped in the middle, in the paper 1 part. Despite reading for a long period, despite practicing for a long period, I was not able to move my pen itself. It felt very demotivating, and it was a shocker for me because there are only 15 days left for the mains, and I was not actually in that position to continue writing the optional papers. I felt so disheartening, and then I just sat back with myself and I just gave myself a lot of boost, because completing the optionals is actually a key. And no matter, like if we talk about the GS papers also, completing all the questions is a sine qua non. There is no alternative to it, and there is no trade-off that you can make with this aspect. So then I just boosted up my morale, and then I went back, sat, and in the remaining time I finished off these papers. And it is demotivating actually. It is actually clumsy and anxious, but you know, when you give yourself that boost and when you have the hope that you will give your best, that positivity will go a long way in actually making that a reality. So whenever you feel like giving up, you feel like it is getting all the way complex, just remember that a clear mind is needed for this exam. Whatever is the feeling that you are in, but just get out of that and go with a lot of positivity. It actually helps. There is one aspect ki whether this optional is dynamic or static. So I'll tell you one thing, that this paper is more of static. So you will just get a very less amount of topics that are actually dynamic in nature. But you can always relate it with what is happening in the society. For example, अगर हम paper 2 इंडियन एंथ्रोपोलॉजी के बारे में बात करते हैं, तो फिर we have topics like Sanskritization, Westernization, caste, dominant caste. All of these concepts, like they are close to the society, the societal dynamics. You can just analyze it with the current day trends, and you can just quote, because it will give you a perspective for the examiner that this person is actually interested in analyzing things, not just keep mugging up facts and writing it down. So that edge will be created in your paper by just adding, you know, these dynamic pointers. And apart from that, ज़्यादा के ज़्यादा तो ये paper बिल्कुल static है, तो फिर there is an advantage that you cannot be bothered about uncertain questions a lot. Yes, there will be certain uncertain questions, but they are doable. It is not that your entire paper, like major portion of your paper is going to be uncertain. It's not like that. So फिर you have to do one thing, that revision is very much needed for this paper. No matter how many times you have read it, how many times you have appeared for mains, revision holds very key relevance in this anthropology optional, because you know there are a lot of things starting from archaeology part, tribal, theories, etc, etc. So you need to revise it, and while revising also, just do not open the book and read it from the chapter 1. Whatever are the priority topics according to PYQs, directly jump into them and start with those topics only at first. And then when you are reading that topic, just close the book and write what all are the keywords related to that topic. In this way, your revision becomes interesting, and you will also memorize all the key pointers with respect to that topic. So this is the aspect of preparation of revision. And secondly, key presentation. Actually, anthro needs a lot of diagrams, especially if we talk about the fossils, archaeology, and if we talk about the tribal, all of these parts. But you know, you actually need not to be a good artist to do this paper. Fair diagrams with just good labeling also goes well, and there are a lot of toppers who have uploaded their diagrams PDF with respect to optional of anthropology. You can just refer them and you can understand how an easy diagram can be made. That is not at all a big issue, but yes, diagrams should be included in your paper. That will give the holism to your answer. And there is another concept of this fear of missing out in optional preparation, कि कितने टेस्ट लगाना चाहिए, कि कौन सी टेस्ट लेना चाहिए. And I'll tell you one thing, that whatever you do, there is no cheat code or source code to crack this exam. That is for sure. Whatever you can do, it is just an input. You have to build around it. You have to sit with yourself and analyze. So unless you have that self-analysis, that where you are going wrong, what your improvements are. So these things are very important, and it doesn't matter whether you take a test series for that or you just sit with yourself and analyze. In my case, I have not enrolled in any of the optional test series, and I was even able to score such a good mark in anthropology this year. It is almost 280, and it's a good mark or good score in a fairly tougher paper. So you can just take the example of me, but also I'll just caution you that if you are somebody who needs some answer writing help in optional, you can go for a test series, but I'll tell you that it is not at all a sync one or mandatory one. You can just take your own call depending upon your level of performance. And ज़्यादा के ज़्यादा कि try करो कि अपने आप से शांति से रहो, because unless you are calm and composed, you will get so vexed with this process itself. Just be calm with yourself and patiently go ahead with the preparation. Yes, there are actually good online resources for optional preparation. If we talk about anthropology, there used to be a channel called Team Anthro in Telegram, which I had joined in my initial days back in 2020. So I do not know whether it is in operation right now or not, but you can just go on and try. There is a channel named Team Anthro, wherein resources, different PDFs were available on those channels, and also few people are writing answers and sharing them there. So you can just refer them. You can get some insights about how it should be done, and you can also write your answer and just post it there. Somebody else can review it and tell you the different insights with respect to your writing. So these all things can be done, and apart from that, I have referred to couple of topper copies because I have not enrolled into test. I want to just get a reference. So फिर I have just referred to Lakshmi Nagappan ma'am's topper copy, and apart from that, I have referred to Nidhi Pai ma'am topper copy and Sri Harsha sir's copy. So these three topper copies I had referred, and I've just got the broad template about how optional answer writing is different from GS answer writing. So in this manner, you can just go through these resources and make the best use out of it. There is a caution to the aspirants who are actually giving this year mains with anthropology optional. Firstly, you should not neglect the revision. Revision is very important because there are a lot of things. And secondly, it's the integration of paper 1 and paper 2. जो भी concepts आप paper 1 में पढ़ते हैं, like the culture, religion, language, etc., you should link them in the paper 2 part, like concepts like dominant caste, concepts like caste, mobility, etc. And the tribal part, you have to just interlink. I'll just give you one example, that if you're actually writing about a tribal practice, you can just quote the symbolism here. Tribal practices on the face of it look symbolic, but deep down they have some meaning associated with it. So here you are quoting the symbolic anthropology school of thought, which means you are linking paper 1 with paper 2. So just ऐसा कि सोच को कि कौन से theories applicable हो सकते हैं paper 2 या फिर paper 1 में भी. So this interlinkage will give you a lot of edge. And one other mistake is that aspirants actually tend to neglect entire subpart. You know, like if you are not good at diagrams, somebody will mind skipping the archaeology in totality. That is actually not good because you might be stronger at one particular area. इसकी मतलब ये होता नहीं कि आप एक पूरी सब टॉप के छोड़ सकते हैं, तो it is not going to be a fair chance because you know you have to be actually having basic idea about all of these sub parts. And archaeology में आप अगर कुछ डायग्राम्स अच्छा से नहीं बना सकते हैं तो फिर ये भी ठीक है, लाइक यू कैन जस्ट ड्रॉ द बेसिक डायग्राम्स एंड जस्ट गिव fair time to each of these subparts in the both the papers. And third part is that some people actually think, you know, like if I just leave 2 questions which I do not know and if I can write very good answers in the remaining questions, I think this will get me a good score. But you know, like this is a wrong approach. No matter how much ever content you have or how much ever understanding that you have to write all of the questions. There is no point in leaving any of the questions. The question that you leave will actually be a deciding factor for you whether you are getting the chance for interview or not. It is that brutal. So do not at all leave any questions, and it gets demotivating at times because I have been there too. But you know, like just give yourself that positivity and go ahead with preparation in a strict timeline. So when I started with mains prep, I just scheduled the entire 2 months into different parts, and in those 2 parts along with GS I was covering topic wise in the optional. In this manner I made sure ki I didn't neglect my optional, because optional is that robust marking area where you can just create the edge, you can just get your desired service. So just do not neglect it. Simultaneously carry out both GS papers and optional. Just give a strict schedule to yourself that on these weeks I'll be covering these particular areas, and then I'll be going ahead with revision, I'll be going ahead with the test or with answer writing, whatever it is, and the short notes, keywords, all of this you just schedule it and just go ahead. There is also one question कि अगर हम schedule के हिसाब से 100% नहीं perform करते तो yeah, there'll be some kind of negativity to our own selves, because when we are not putting that kind of effort that matches our own schedule, we'll just get lost into a loop of negative thoughts, you know. So फिर like in my case also I experienced that. Like I have prepared a good schedule for the next 2 months of mains, but despite all of that I couldn't actually match 100% with that schedule. And there were days when I just used to feel bad about myself, because no matter how many hours I was putting in back in that period, I was not just able to cope up with my own schedule, and realize that it is actually absolutely normal, because during mains we have to cover a lot, and it naturally we forget the boundaries of our own physical and mental health. So it is actually okay, but try that you match with your schedule as far as you can actually do. So even if you can cover 80% of your schedule, that is going to be actually good, and you will be still able to write good answers and get good score. Just be honest with yourself and do not get into the loop of negative thoughts. No matter how much you try to do, there is always some feeling of incompleteness in this entire preparation. Just be positive and cover as much as possible. So while we were writing the original mains, when we are writing it, there is a question कि कैसे start करें, first 10 मार्क का ये लिखूँ या फिर 15 या 20 मार्कर्स के साथ से like start. We can do one thing here. Just in my case, I was done with the 10 markers first, because you know, like those are the first questions the examiner will correct. When you are attempting them at the last, imagine the compromise in your quality and handwriting. So when you are writing first question in the paper in such terrible writing and terrible quality, the impression of examiner will also be like very moderate or like very minimal upon your paper. So फिर I just did one thing. I was actually writing 10 markers first, but also I'll tell you that in the 10 marker questions there are bouncers. There are just keywords which you have never come across. So ये वाले bouncers में आप ये कर सकते हैं कि वो क्वेश्चन छोड़ दो, बट जो भी 10 मार्कर्स आपको पता है अच्छी तरह से वो लिखो फर्स्ट. तो फिर after you are done with the 10 marker questions, go ahead with 15 and 20 marker questions. And whenever just in the middle of the time you get few keywords or insights regarding that bouncer question, attempt it then. So in this manner you can finish 10 markers, 20 and 15 markers, and you know ki just selection of questions, especially in optional we have this choice questions. Apart from 10 markers, in 15 and 20 markers we will have a choice. Then decide the question upon whether you have decent content, whether you know any thinkers or philosophies that you can, theories actually you can relate that concept with, and whether you have good structure in your brain. All of this criteria should be in mind while selecting the question, because on a same paper, same candidate or different candidates, selecting different questions will give them different marks altogether. Like some might be in the list, some might be out of the list also. So it depends upon how you select the questions and how you present them. So keep these criteria in mind and just attempt the questions. Especially if we talk about the entire mains ball game, GS and optional, your pen becomes your best friend, because you just have to write it. You do not have the time to just stop and think what you have to write. So just practice writing a lot. Brainstorm and write the pointers, write in the pointer format, and just keep a timer beside your study table, and just write the questions in a time bound manner from the like initial days itself, not precisely the day one, but from the initial days of answer writing itself. Just keep the timer beside you, and for 10 marker it is the mandatory 7-minute timeline. So you have to finish whatever you have to write, and once the 7-minute time is done, you have to move to the next question. No matter how much better you have written, how much worse you have written, it's always important to give the specific time to the next question also. So just forget whatever you have done and just start the next question with the new energy. And also that one other aspect ki kaun si pen select kare. So in my case I just selected Pilot V5 pen, and I have stick to it because that pen gave me flexibility, the speed and the quality of good handwriting. तो फिर आप भी कुछ ऐसा पेन्स को ट्राई करें, एंड जो भी पेन आपको सही लगता है just stick with it, and there is no point in changing pens all over again because that will ruin your flow. Try 2 to 3 pens and then just stick on with one good pen. And when I'll talk about the aspirants who are actually writing mains this year and उनकी syllabus जो 100% complete नहीं हुए, तो फिर you can do one thing. It is not important to complete the syllabus. It is important to complete the demands of the paper. तो फिर PYQs के हिसाब से जो भी important topics है सिर्फ और सिर्फ वो भी cover करते जाइए, and you will actually know कि these topics से you will expect lot of questions. And I actually told you in the beginning of this video that whatever you do for the optional, return on investment should be in your mind. So whatever are the concepts that are actually important from the PYQs, so you have to cover them first, and if you still have some time you can just explore the ancillary topics also. So this should be the approach in completion of the syllabus or completion of the PYQ. So in my analysis I have found out that if you take paper 1, so the first topic itself is about anthropology. What is this discipline all about? What are the different branches in this in this discipline? You see that every other year there is a 10 marker in this area, and you can also expect a 15 marker sometimes, but 10 marker तो ज़रूरी ही ज़रूरी है. तो फिर I did one thing. I just took A4 sheets and I just jotted down the important pointers कि कौन सी points लिख सकते हैं, and it is done for that. Just when you are revising, just revise that one full A4 sheet and it is done. So in this way you can just map out the important topics. And if I can go on listing the topics, for example chapter 2, culture is very important concept, and then you see like marriage, kinship. From these areas you can expect some of the other questions. And then economic anthropology, and then from religion, the chapter religion magic, then the chapter 6th chapter anthropological theories. हर साल एक ना क्वेश्चन ज़रूर के ज़रूर आता ही है ये टॉपिक्स से. एंड इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट द 10th chapter, the 11th chapter, the menarche, menopause, relevance of it in the current society. And then if you talk about the genetics part, 9th chapter, you see chromosomal aberrations. These are the topics which are evergreen. Every other year you can just definitely expect questions. तो फिर आप revision जब भी start करते हो कि just take the priority topics list and go ahead with that. And in paper 2 also you have things like the racial distribution of Indian society, racial and genetic distribution of Indian tribes, and जो भी tribal problems है, and also the interventions of governments, NGOs. These are all certain topics which are repetitive in nature. So उनके हिसाब से आप अपने रिवीजन या प्रिपरेशन करते जाइए. So I have just gone through a book by Akshat Jain sir, and there is a question that whether there is any such resource or book in the market जो कि ये priority PYQs के हिसाब से question and answers format में है. तो फिर I just came across 2 books. One is by Anthropology by Vivek Basme sir, and one is by Anthropology Demystified by Akshat Jain sir. So these 2 books you can just refer, and you can find that topics according to PYQs, and their model answers were also given. You can just refer those model answers and just enrich your own notes and enrich your answer writing techniques. You know that this phase of mains preparation, it never feels complete. No matter how much of the hours you put in, how much of the years that you put in here, it always feels incomplete. And remember that it's absolutely normal. And like as much as you can cover, as much as you can hit on the demands of the question, it is fine, it is well and good. And do not feel demotivated at all just because you feel that your preparation is incomplete. Just always try to take those improvements and just कि work on those improvements, and never feel demotivated कि syllabus complete नहीं हुआ या फिर incomplete सा लग रहा है, कुछ FOMO है. तो फिर ये सब चीज़ों के बारे में कि like you do not have to feel much or do not have to invest much time upon. Just focus on improvements and try as much as possible to just कि cover whatever is the portion you have, cover the revision part, answer writing, etc etc. And जो भी इस साल mains दे रहा है तो फिर like keep all these things in mind and just go and give your best. It is actually a relative exam. It is not that there is a model answer and you have to fit in that answer. It is not like that. It is just a relative exam. Whoever performs the best with respect to all others will get good marks. So your mindset should be like this only. You have to just perform your best. That is how it gets. So in the view of helping other aspirants, I have just recently started my own Telegram channel. It is by the name Sai Shivani IAS, and in that channel I am just uploading the mains relevant notes because it is actually the period for mains prep. So I am uploading the optional related insights, material and notes. So you can just go through this channel if ever you need some help and just get the benefit out of it. So for like in the last I would just tell one thing, that mains is all about believing in yourself and presenting your best. तो फिर जो भी aspirants है जो इस बार mains दे रहे हैं, like to all of you, I wish you very good luck and I wish all the best to all of you. Just go ahead, go all in and just give your best.